What's happening, everyone? We are back on the job site here today on our triplex renovation, and we are almost ready to go with our drywall. A couple things that we need to do before we get started. If you can see here in this area, I've actually gone and knocked down all the rest of the old plaster in this one bedroom portion on the ceiling, just because half of it was exposed, the other half was just not in good enough condition for us to drywall on top of it. So I broke it all down. These are all the bags of all that plaster. And I've gone and reinforced this section in terms of the ceiling joist to lift that up and get it nice and flat. And I'm evaluating whether or not I need to do the same thing here on this joist. I don't know how obvious it is in camera, but if you look maybe from here, you can barely tell, but it sags a little. So I'm gonna evaluate if I need to reinforce this one as well. And then we just need to clean up all of our nails and all the rest of the hanging plaster and get it ready so that everything is nice and flat for our first few sheets. I've got my 1/2-inch drywall here. These are all gonna go on the ceilings. And in typical drywall installation, the ceiling has to go in before the walls. So everywhere I can, the ceiling will go in first, and then we will put 5/8 drywall, which is the stack over here. The 5/8 drywall will go on the walls, and that is allowing essentially for a lip to be created, right? Where the ceiling drywall, if it does try to sag, it intersects with the 5/8 on the wall and prevents it from falling down. So let's find you a spot to watch and let's continue working. What is happening, everyone? We're looking at the first floor, or the upstairs floor of the main house on this triplex. And I want to give a few tips before I continue on and show you a couple of the nice things that I've done, because I'm going to be living in this home and there's some creature comforts that I like. So the first one is sound insulation. Now, when you look at this kitchen wall, you can see I've already started putting insulation here in this wall, because from the kitchen to the bedroom, I want to limit the amount of noise. And if you have a refrigerator like I do, that's going to be placed here, you don't ever want that refrigerator's compressor sound invading into your bedroom space when you're trying to sleep. Also, it's just good practice to isolate the bedrooms in any house when you have a chance with all the walls open. It's really not that expensive in terms of material costs, and the installation is super simple. The only reason construction and builders don't do it en masse is because it's like 10% more expensive for their overall cost. So if you're doing it yourself, you should definitely do it. Now, the second thing is my choice of drywall. You can see here the thickness of this drywall. Well, maybe you can't tell, but this is 5/8 inch thick drywall. For all of my walls in this renovation project, I'm going with 5/8. 5/8 is a little bit, about 25% more dense and thicker than traditional 1/2 inch drywall that's required for code. 5/8 will give you two benefits. One, it makes your walls super straight. Now, obviously you have to prep all your walls to make sure they're straight in the first place, but 5/8 being a thicker product, it smooths over any irregularities in your final product and makes it super flat. Now for this kitchen in particular, a flat wall leads to a very flat and clean kitchen cabinet install. So that's one reason to do it. But the other reason is, again, for sound isolation. All that extra material soaks up sound in between this wall and the bedroom. I want to isolate noise. So both of these walls will have 5/8 inch. Actually, all of my walls that you see in here in the interior of this bedroom are 5/8. The only thing that's not is the ceiling, which is 1/2, because really there's not much sound coming from there, and 1/2 inch is lighter, and holding things in the air is really heavy. The last thing I'll add, just in this kitchen, we have a pot filler. Now, you might think that pot fillers are super expensive, right? You've probably been quoted, it's like thousands of dollars to add to any construction renovation project. The actual material cost of adding one of these is like $5 in parts. This elbow bib is like $1.50. Plastic to run your cable to the other water line, which you probably have for your refrigerator over there. It is super cheap. So you should definitely get it installed. Doing this is just, it's like 30 minutes of work. You should totally do it. Anyway, that's what I've got going on. Today, I'm going to be fixing all the irregularities where drywall needs to go. There's some sections here that have to be cleaned up, some stuff over here. I have to actually install my pocket door before I finish the drywall over here. So all the framing here has to be completed. So, I mean, we're like 70% of the way done with drywall, but as I go, I need to fix all the little issues I find before a full sheet can go up. So let's get this time lapse rolling. Let's get to work. Today, I'm gonna do a quick overview of how I'm doing my LED lighting in the kitchen. Now, I intend to have under cabinet lighting, LED strip lighting under all of my cabinets, as well as maybe some floating shelves. Now, because I have most of the walls open, that means I can run my low voltage wire and connect it all to this. And one of these units, I think this is a, what do I got here? I think this is a 120 watt or 100 watt dimmable LED driver. Now, most LEDs are 12 volt systems, and your home lighting is typically 120 volt. So you need one of these drivers to convert the power. Now, I want dimmable because I'd like to control the dimming capability, and not all drivers are dimming capable. So you want to make sure you get dimmable on the label. You also have to estimate how much energy your LED lighting is going to consume, and then buy the appropriate amount of wattage in the driver to be able to power it all. I would say for a kitchen where I have about 4, 8, 12, maybe 16 feet of LED wire, 100 to 120 watts is more than adequate. For the other LED driver that I'll be using, this little baby one, which I think is 25 watt, this is going to be just for the bathroom where I'm going to have some accent lighting in the shower niche, right? And 25 watt is good enough for a couple feet. It's actually good enough for a lot more than that. But this is pretty much the smallest dimmable driver I can get. And this is going to be installed on the bathroom line. If I can get it out. Why won't you come out? Well, it doesn't matter. In any case, I'm getting dimmable here as well. Dimmable is the key. Wherever you go, get dimmable. That means you'll get dimmable switches. It all just ends up working out in the end.